I wake up with a headache and stumble into the bathroom to brush my teeth. I look into the mirror and notice that I only blink with one eye. Weird, but whatever. School proceeds as normal until I start feeling extremely fatigued during the 5th period. Something's not right. I end up calling Mom. She always knows what to do.
It seems like your son has Bell's palsy. It might take around a month to recover.
Great. Out of all the rare illnesses, my body decided to get this one. Missing a month of school before exams sounds like the worst case scenario. It's just half of my face staying unresponsive, yet my whole body feels numb. I can barely focus on the phone screen as I type a message back to Henri, who was curious enough to investigate my sudden disappearance from class.
You okay?
Got hospitalized with face paralysis.
The fuck is that?
The fuck is that indeed? One of my eyes can't blink and my mouth is stuck in a convoluted grimace. Thank God no one will come to visit. I close my eyes, one manually, and hope that the numbness will go away in the morning. It doesn't. Hospital food is tasteless. That doesn't really matter since I'm going to be discharged today. No one stays at hospitals for more than 2 days unless you're fatally injured. Mother asked her acquaintances to give me a ride home. What followed were 2 weeks of pills and 24 hours sleep, and 2 more weeks of staring at the ceiling because my mind couldn't focus on anything else.
Henrietta came to visit while you were sleeping. She brought some printouts from school.
Bless her. Among the stuff Henri brought, I find a notebook with Vincent's name on it.
Oh, yeah. I hope you find these notes useful. Get well soon.
Said the note inside. I'm mortified. I ended up being a burden to them both. I try to shake the feeling off and be sincerely grateful, but end up being choked by guilt. I have to catch up, become better, more capable. If I'm not ahead of others, then my self-worth is no better than 0. I need to thank people who care about me soon. When I finally became able to come outside after what felt like forever, dandelions were in full bloom. Vincent has his nose buried in the notebook lately. He's definitely writing something, but I never pry.
I think there are two ways to go about writing: to be the one in power, or to give power to your readers. You can write a piece so flawless and complete that your awestruck reader will be rendered speechless, or create a flawed, seemingly incomplete work, prompting the reader to contribute with better ideas. Which would you prefer?
Playing God or making a fool out of myself. Tough choice indeed.
So,
The latter sounds like less pressure, so I'd take that one, especially since I know what happens if you choose the first. That way, every reader can become a co-creator, even if they get laughs at my expense.
well, I see.
Besides, if something's considered ideal, you can only make copies of it without creating anything new. Disagree. That does That doesn't sound too creative to me. More importantly, would be your choice. What would you two choose?
That's a good question.
Probably the latter. Because I don't think
Ah,
I could be able to create anything perfect anyways. So it's like, at least people have fun with it.
I don't know. I think I try to go with the first, but I know that I would have to create a lot of the latter before I could create the first.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'd probably aim for the first as well myself. What about you, chat? What would you guys pick?
Me? Well, what do you think?
I think you want to leave it a rhetorical question. How are your grades coming along, by the way?
Well, looks like I'll be one of the few people invited to the awards ceremony.
Wow, you're amazing.
I didn't really have a choice. Do you think you'll be able to graduate with honors?
Nah, I totally blew my chem and math grades. Took me a bit of time to come to terms with the fact that I'm not that smart.
Oh,
Hello,
jeez.
Satsuki. She disagrees. She's like, "You're smart, Charles."
She's just she's just a very avid fan. Child, please calm down.
Wish I didn't grow up thinking that doing well in academics would guarantee me a secure future, though. Yo, same. Or anything,
Yeah.
really. All that stress for absolutely nothing.
hmm
Yep.
Right now, I just want to sleep my life away.
By the way, how's your mother feeling?
She's okay, surprisingly enough. I'm doing my best to help her too, even if it means working in retail.
I'm sure of it.
She used to be far more violent before. Never laid a hand on me, though. It was always something else. Utensils, clothes, books.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yes.
What's up with Charles' hands?
I think they might have like maybe he self-harmed. I'm not sure. That would be my guess. Uh we never really saw much of his hands in the original series, so his hands looking like that is new to us too.
Okay.
He seems
Could
like
it
the
be?
kind of guy who would wash his hands raw all the time.
That's true
Oh
too.
yeah.
He does have you know,
Very, very
Yeah, he
big
seems to
OCD.
have OCD. Yeah.
the only thing I'd regret is that as a kid I tried to make her less aggressive by oh Jesus Christ.
Oh, like hitting a lot of marks, like for modern youth.
Mhm. The only thing I regret is that as a kid I tried to make her less aggressive by saying I'll kill myself. That was extremely selfish of me.
You were a child. You didn't know any better.
Still, it's so weird. Out of all my solutions, my 4-year-old mind always jumped to suicide. This is reminding me, back when I was working both at the school district and the funeral home, a lot of people would always ask me, isn't it really depressing to work at a funeral home? And the thing is that at the
Probably more
funeral,
depressing than school.
yeah, it ended up being more depressing working at the school because yeah, sometimes we did get some suicides or some unnatural deaths or someone very young, but mostly it was people who, had lived a long and good life. Whereas at the school, I was reading a lot of records, and often I read a lot of records of abusive households, and even kids. I think the youngest I saw as young as 8 with suicide reports, and
Yeah.
it was an eye opener.
Eh.
It's like at the funeral home, the life there has already passed. Like that's a process that's already been over and done with. But at school, it's like lives that you can see like on their way to that.
Yep.
But yeah,
Vincent touches the bruise on his cheek, only somewhat consciously. I guess I just wanted to guilt trip her into caring.
I see. So that idea isn't foreign to you too.
What do you mean?
It's nothing. Don't worry.
Sounds fishy. But as long as you don't want to talk about it, I'll bug off.
Thank you. I would hate being pitied.
Maybe I shouldn't have come without a warning. But it's Charles, so he wouldn't mind all that much. I'll just return this book and go home anyway. It's open. Huh. Geez, when will they fix the lock? It's already been a month since it's been like this. This place is already a hellhole. Would it hurt them to put more effort into making it a little bit safer?
Yeah, this is giving off a bad vibe.
Very bad.
The elevator's taking too long. Did someone just come in?
Mm-mm.
Ooh.
Keep quiet. No one will get hurt.
Mm!
You bitch! Stop screaming!
Mm! Somebody help! I hear someone opening the door above and a dog barking.
Ah!
He ran away? I can't stay here.
Ooh.
Blood. Mm. Thank you.
Who could it be? Maybe I should pretend we're not home. Henri! There's a trail of blood behind her. It keeps dripping, staining the floor. What happened?
Oh.
Shit. Okay, don't talk. Mom, call the ambulance. Henri, I'll help you lie down, okay?
The blood will get everywhere.
Don't worry about it. It's going to be all right. If her lung isn't punctured, that is. Here. Sorry for the makeshift scarf pillow. I'll get you a real one in a bit. I'll try to stop the bleeding now. But, I only have theoretical knowledge about it. Forgive me if it hurts. Mom will Google the right way to do it, so trust us. Henri stays quiet. She must be in shock. I help her take off her shirt and look at the wound, trying not to focus on the blood oozing out. It's most definitely a knife wound. Okay, this should do it. I throw the blood-stained shirt into cold water and let out a sigh. The ambulance arrives quickly. I follow her to the hospital, hoping that it's nothing serious. When I see Henri again, she has the same absent-minded look on her face. What did they say?
No internal organ damage. But it's going to leave a scar.
That's good.
It sucks. Why do things like this happen? Can't everyone live in peace?
She begins to tear up.
Why must I be cautious of every person I see on the street? Why must I be scared of walking alone?
I'm scared too. Ever since we moved into that place, I've been paranoid of every sound. We got rid of the cockroaches, but the neighbors stayed. Wants me to get you some pepper spray. I have some in my bag.
I hate it. The very fact that you speak of these things like they're nothing out of the ordinary.
But they are ordinary. My mom got stalked by some psycho for over a year. I got smacked with a broken bottle on the street some time ago. Our neighbor's dog got mauled by a pack of strays. Life's full of misfortunes like that.
Fuck that. It's unfair.
It is. But there's nothing we can do about it, can we?
You're always like this. Ignoring the problem instead of doing something about it.
Miss Warhol,
What? What's up with that sudden formality?
I didn't get to ask, but what exactly happened back then?
I don't get it myself. Everything happened so quickly. He told me to stay quiet, but I screamed my lungs out anyway. Maybe he just wanted my purse. Maybe something else. I don't know. I just wanted to return the book.
Henri turns over and cries into the pillow.
Okay, examination over. I'm going to disinfect the equipment. You can get dressed.
Thanks, Mr. Honecker. So, how is it?
I don't think these bruises will ever heal. Unless we skin you and replace the tissue completely.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you want it. Even though you're emotionally dead unless medicated, it's going to hurt like hell. Can't laugh about that.
If it's a smile, I can always give you one. See? Just like I was taught in the labs.
Stop it. It's not funny.
It's weird, Mr. Honecker. I'm so desensitized to cruelty and violence that I no longer feel saddened or shocked by them. I don't think I'm capable of crying either. Or feeling anything, really. Everything is just mundane.
Well, humans are an adaptive species. If all you see every day is atrocities, you can't help but get used to them.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Forget I said anything.
You hate being sober that much.
When I am, I start having thoughts. I'd rather not think, Mr. Honecker. That should be your thing to do. Good night.
Hmm. Well, he's right. It's really not something I should concern myself with. I have to focus on my research while I still have the time.
We're strolling in the park after school again. The weather isn't particularly good, but I have an umbrella with me. Vincent doesn't mind the rain, but I do, so I follow him like the butler of a rich household. His throat is bandaged. Vincent doesn't bring it up, and I don't ask. We stop at a small bridge.
Oh, there's something I've been meaning to tell you for a while.
No way. Is the love confession, Mr. Fennell?
Almost. I've been writing a novel.
Oh? What's it called?
Aether Almanac.
Sounds fancy.
I'm still in the process of writing it, and frankly, there's a lot to do. But I've published some chapters already. If you're willing to give it a read, I'll be happy to share it.
Of course. I mean, you can't write badly.
Well, thanks for your trust. It's a collection of short stories centered around one divine being. It needs a lot of improvement, and I don't expect my target demographic to be older than myself. Still, it's a work I love dearly.
It's the first time I've ever heard him use love in regard to something. I should read it soon, I thought, yet ended up postponing it until the very last minute. One's writing is the mirror of one's soul. I was afraid of my imaginary construct of Vincent shattering upon looking into it. Mm, go ahead, Jamie.
Oh. In the land of eternity, there lived a scientist. Exiled from her homeland for heresy against her beliefs, she decided to travel around the world to see all its wonders. She saw civilizations rise and fall, stars explode, and new forms of life come into existence. After thousands of years of wandering, she began to grow weak in her limbs. She walked and walked until she stumbled and fell to the ground. There she lay for days, unable to get up on her own. People passed by. Some asked if she was feeling unwell. Some pitied her and gave her food to eat. Some gave advice on how to get back to her feet. But nobody extended a hand. One day, she felt someone lift up her weakened frame. She looked up and saw a being she couldn't quite describe, as its form was constantly changing. It was the most fascinating sight she'd ever seen. "What are you?" the scientist asked. "I cannot be defined by mere words," it laughed, amused by her question. "Some call me White Queen, but that was only one of my many masks. I am neither a man or a woman, for I am not human. They say meeting me is a great blessing that happens once in many millions of years. Therefore, how about I grant you one wish?" the being offered. "Say, what do you wish for?" The scientist thought of unlimited knowledge, and the world's treasures, and infallible health, but none of these wonders interested her any longer. "Can you remain by my side?" she asked, her voice growing weak as the realization that she grew tired of solitude dawned on her. "Unfortunately, I cannot grant you that wish, as nothing can bind me," was the divine being's answer. The scientist hung her head low. "However, if it's a lifelong partner you want." Without as much as a warning, the creature tore off one of the scientist's fingers. Whoa. Without as much as a warning, the creature tore off the scientist's finger, and her identical copy grew from it. As the scientist screamed from the sharp pain that pierced her, the relentless god spoke again. It knows everything you do and understands you better than anyone ever would. It'll never leave your side and remain with you in life and death. When your sight fades, it'll become your eyes. When you lose strength in your legs, it'll carry you in its embrace. Together, you are one.
And with that, we will go ahead and end this stream right here in a couple of minutes, about 10. Kime is going to start streaming We Happy Few. But thank you to everyone who came. As usual, we are doing this for Extra Life, which Nightbot just went ahead and linked our donation page. So if you have anything to spare, all this money will go towards children's hospitals, so it's a good cause. Um, we will continue probably next Saturday at the same time doing Hollow Knight at 12 EST and this at 2 EST. Would that work for you guys?
As
I don't know if it would work with for me in terms of the Heaven's Gate, but I think Hollow Knight would work.
Alrighty. Well then.
I'll have to see what goes on next week. I'm not sure 100%.
Okay. Well, at least we will definitely do a Hollow Knight at 12 p.m. EST. Go ahead and follow our Twitter so that you can keep up with updates. That's what we update the most. Whoops, not Twitters. Twitter. That's what we update the most in terms of when we will be streaming and what we will be streaming. But for now, please do stick around so you can watch Kime. See you guys in a bit.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
I guess I'll just have to keep working at it until you submit. That's a
Word
weird
choice.
choice
Yeah, I mean, I knew she was talking about wanting you to punish her last stream, but
Oh yeah, no, that was a different situation.
Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to 4pixels. Pardon my little blunder there, but things are here. We're actually getting a slightly earlier start. Last we left off, we had just come upon a scene where Nellie was being forced to go out with a young man named Arthur, who her father had betrothed her to.
And she doesn't want to.